Ben from Snowy's here, folks. Today we're checking out the Rover Lithium 40 amp hour power bank from Companion. This is a nice lightweight 40 amp hour power bank that you can take with you in the campsite that's got multiple outputs, multiple inputs, and you can charge it directly from solar because it's got its own built-in MPPT controller. Covering off what comes in the box with your power bank here, you get AC charger over here. We'll show you where that plugs in shortly. DC charger, so you can charge it from 240 or 12 volt. Get this cable here so that you can charge it from solar as well. You get these little adapters here that go in the port on the front here. This is a slightly different plug than most standard LED lights. So this allows you to plug your LED light in the end here, and then this will then attach to your power bank, and you get a user's manual. And there's a lithium iron phosphate battery inside here, and it's all encased in this durable plastic outer here, and it weighs 6.3 kilos, so much lighter than the regular sealed lead acid or those heavy battery packs we've had in the past. Dimensions wise, about 27 centimeters by a little bit over 24 centimeters in height and about 15 centimeters in depth. Do a bit of a tour on the outside before we go into things too far in the back. Nothing to see there, but on this end here, you've got a little LED light here. If we hold down on this blue button here, it will flick this LED light on, and that's a 3-watt LED. Not a whole lot of light, but enough to find your way to and from the tent. If you're carrying this at night, hold down for another 3 seconds and it flicks off. Now, moving on to the other features, there is a whole lot going on here, so I'll try and explain it bit by bit. I might start with charging though. If we come around to this end here, we've got an input here, which is our charge input. Now that plug marries up to these little red and black plugs that feature on the DC charger, the 12 volt charger, and also this adapter here, which will plug in and then turn this into a standard Anderson plug on the end here. So that means we can plug a solar panel in here. Now one of the great things about this unit is it has a built-in MPPT or maximum power point tracking controller, which means you don't need to use the solar controller or MPPT controller or DC to DC charger that came with your solar panel. You can plug solar straight into this and plug this straight into the end here. It will charge at a maximum of 5 amps, so the MPPT controller will limit the charging rate to 5 amps, so it'll charge within about sort of 8 to 10 hours. But you can use whatever solar panel you like. 120 to 200 watt is probably a good option, but even though that 200 watt solar panel is going to put out maybe 5 to 11 amps, this is only going to charge at 5 amps. Jumping onto the output settings here, when you plug, when it comes straight out of the box and you plug things in, it's in charge mode. To switch this into power mode, we flick the power button and it turns the display on. We'll go into a bit more on that shortly, but if we hold down on the power button, we can see that some red lights come on down here on these plugs. Now what that means is that the unit is in output mode. So we're getting power out of these plugs here, power out of the 12 volt plug here, power out of this plug here as well. This is a 2-pin plug, a bit like what you find on Engel in a lot of fridges nowadays that will screw into place. It's a really secure plug there. You've got just a standard cigarette plug on the front here. Now this and the one on the side here are 10 amp outputs, and you've actually got a total of 10 amps combined output from this unit. So if you've got multiple things plugged in here, it can only pull a maximum of 10 amps. Down the bottom here, you've got just the standard little pin plugs, which are these guys here that you can use for your solar, your LED lights. So we plug that in there and your LED lights can plug in the end there. They're just 1 amp outputs, 2.8 volt, 1 amp. And you've got a couple of just standard USB-A outputs here. These are 2 amps each, and a type C output here, which is a 3 amp output. So lots of options for charging devices, but it doesn't stop there because you've also got this Anderson output here. Now we need to press a few buttons to activate this. This is a 10 amp Anderson output. So to activate that one, we need to go back. If we just take this back to the starter, hold down on this power button and put it back into charge mode. So these red lights have gone off on the bottom. So if we want to activate the Anderson plug on the end, we turn it on to start with. We hold the power button down for 3 seconds and it activates the red lights at the bottom. That's now in output mode. To then activate the Anderson plug on the end, we hold down on the on-off Anderson plug button here, sorry. This red light goes on here. That now means that this Anderson port on the end here is a 10 amp output, so we can charge devices directly from that output there. Now that's all the inputs, outputs. I want to show you the screen on the front here. I'm just going to put it back into charge mode from the start here now. So lights are gone off. This is now in charge mode. Now if I was to plug a power source into the side here to charge it up, this would show me, I would have a little word up here that says input, another word down here that says charge. It would show me how many watts are going in and how many hours or how many minutes until the battery inside is charged. If I put this into output mode, so I hold down on this so that these lights come up here, you can now see the words here, output and discharge. Above those, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but above those there is an input and a charge function, but they're not lit up at the moment. Now this will always show the net difference between the power going in and the power coming out. So if I've got more amps coming in than the amps that are being drawn out, because you can charge and power device, you can charge this, and power a device at the same time. So if the device that's being powered is drawing less power than what is being put in, this will show a net input. If you're actually drawing more current out of this than what's going in, then this will show the output and discharge. Now I can show you a little bit of how that works. If I grab this fan here and I'm going to plug it into the 12 volt output socket here, we've got it in output mode because these lights are on here, and if I flick this we can see nothing's been drawn at the moment. It is showing, I forgot to mention before, but this is a battery indicator on the side here that shows 70% charge in the battery. It's showing 1 watt now, so there's some power being pulled out of this. But if I flick the fan on down here now, and just give me a second, I'll flick that on, put the display on at the back there, so in the medium setting, that's now drawing 7 to 8 watts, and we've got 2,800 minutes of discharge time left. If I turn it up again, you can see that will now go up to 15 watts. We've got 1,300 minutes of discharge time left, or power left in the battery. If I now go and plug something in at a higher amount of watts than this is discharging, then this will flick over to input and charge, and it will show the amount of time until charge. You can't toggle between those settings. What shows on here is very dependent on what you're running from the device. That is all the features of the Rover Lithium 40 amp hour power station from Companion. Should also mention it's equipped with short circuit and over voltage protection and also temperature protection, so it's a nice smart little device, and 40 amp hours is a really good amount of power to keep a fridge cold or keep all your food cold for a weekend away, provided you've got a vehicle or somewhere to charge it up during the day. Solar's a great way to do that. If you've got any questions on this guy, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, you'll get all the latest and greatest information, or check out some other Companion videos like this one down here.